tiff, a row, a tangle, maybe. It's not even worth discussing.
Hello and good evening. Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3, Episode 4, A Space Adventure Hour is over, but we're just getting started here on Live Long and Podcast as we continue our mission to watch every episode of Strange New Worlds and talk all about it. I'm Dave Mader, and I'll be your host for the next hour. And we got a great panel here to help break down this episode and talk all about it and rate it. Coming in first here, where is he? Noir filters, retro flirtations, and comedic sentimentality. He's seen it all, and he's not buying the lounge singer's innocence. With genre awareness and just enough cynicism to keep it real, this holodeck program is lucky to have Jody Simpson.
For a second there, I thought it was Adam.
Who's this going to be for? He always makes an Ottawa reference.
At this point, it's like,
Yes. Well, of course, welcome, Jody. And as you've alluded to there, facts first, vibes next. He's not here to enforce canon. He's here to call it rogue plot holes. Smart and always curious. It's Adam Woodward.
Thank you, Dave. Happy to be here. Unhappy with this episode.
Unhappy. Well, we're going to talk all about it. Spoilers ahoy if you don't want to know about the episode. This is the 24th overall episode of Star Trek's Strange New Worlds. Of course, the fourth of this third season. Directed by Jonathan Frakes, Commander Riker himself, and written by Dana Horgan and Catherine Lynn. And it's a holodeck episode, everybody, in a time where holodecks didn't exist yet. Or maybe they did, but they were too finicky, too temperamental.
They were looting. They're still in star bases, but not on ships.
Not on ships, but ships are going to be able to go on longer deep space missions, and past the 5-year mission threshold. So we need some entertainment, and this is meant to be sort of a prototype testing.
Yes.
And of course, just getting to the end of the episode, they determined, Jody, that holodecks, it's just too volatile. It takes up too much computer resources. They can get locked down. People can get trapped in there. People could even die. And I just don't. And they say, let's shelve the whole thing. But no Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, or Voyager crew ever came to the same conclusion.
Nope, never.
So I don't know what that says about those captains or that era of Starfleet and the Federation. But, I don't know. I felt like they just kind of wanted to have a holodeck episode on Strange New Worlds. And they're like, well, I know the holodeck didn't really exist yet, but maybe it did, and then it was too crazy, and we can't do it.
This season they're on pace for giving us way more filler episodes than normal. Right now, 50% of this season has been filler episodes.
Actually, I would disagree. I think episode 2 looks way better now.
Okay, and so Adam, what was you're saying? You didn't love this episode. What about it is not entertaining you?
Okay, we will get more into it. There's a few good things in this episode. However, I'm not loving the. I don't think I even love the holodeck episodes on Next Gen, like, ever.
So you're not a holodeck episode fan. In general.
When they take it away, like, I mean, I like the ship, I like the crew, I like them, like I like the aliens. I felt this episode. I got lost, Dave. I'm gonna learn things tonight from you guys, probably that I didn't catch this morning when I watched it.
Okay. It's this episode is also kind of a
not
love
that
letter.
deep. I don't think it is.
It's not that deep. It's a bit of a love letter to the original series.
There's a lot of stuff in there for the original series. I agree. Yeah.
At least Una's hair is back to normal.
Yes, that's a good thing.
True.
Yeah, she looked better in this
She looked
episode.
a lot better, actually. Listen, they looked great in this episode. They all looked great. The costuming in the holodeck was fantastic. Ensign Mount looked amazing.
Yes, and so a lot of our lead actors here, Ensign Mount and the others, they get to play their main character, in his case Pike, but they also get to play some holodeck characters that are part of this 1960s murder mystery. I can't remember the name of like the detective that La'an is playing.
It was no Dixon Hill.
Hill. Something Moon. I like the hat. I don't like the
Emily
wig.
Moon? No.
Maybe something like that. Scotty has to kind of sort it all out with Uhura's help. What else happens? And La'an and Spock are.
Yeah. Damn it.
What's going on? Are you guys stands for like Chapel and Spock, and you can't stand this La'an?
My mom told me a long time ago not to say anything unless I would say something nice.
Oh, that's bullshit. You never listened to her before.
Yeah. What I don't think that lesson ever stuck.
I don't. No, it definitely didn't. I don't know. Like the episode itself, I have mixed feelings about, because I liked the beginning of it. I thought it was kind of cool to see the like 60s rendition of their little show. I liked how they replaced the intro with their version of the intro. Stuff like that. I actually would have liked to actually see a holodeck episode in that, not actually this, murder mystery thing, which
I see.
really
So like the
is
whole
just
holodeck
boring.
episode, they're in like the 1960s
in this, like,
version of a
60s
spaceship.
version, kind of like they did it in Voyager with what was his name? The space fuck, I can't remember his name now. It was always in black and white.
You mean like Captain Proton and all that?
Proton, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Calling
So
back to those like serialized, I guess.
Yeah, and if
B-movie
they wanted to
style.
do something creative with that would be fine. So when they first started the episode, I'm like, all right, I'll give this a go. This will be kind of like that episode of the crossover episode with DS9, in the original series. And it's like, all right, great. This might be all right. And then it goes to, the this murder mystery thing, which it just felt long in the tooth. It felt like every scene was essentially running too long, especially when they're doing the talking of like when she's interrogating everybody. So boring. And
This was 47 minutes and it felt like an hour and 15 or something.
Oh, it felt long, yeah.
Okay.
But I absolutely loved I loved the beginning of it, especially with the guy who plays Kirk, obviously
Wesley?
playing a different version.
He's doing his best.
But
William
he's
Shatner.
literally doing a satirized Kirk. Like, literally, that's what he's doing anyway. And I loved the alien where you can actually see their hands and, they're holding up the paddles and stuff like that. And it's like, I thought that was pretty funny. But just overall, again, and I know I sound like a broken record, but when you have this many episodes in a season, wasting it on this it annoys me. I don't know.
Well, as we said, this is only the 24th episode of the entire show, so this would be one, like, not even quite one season of like Next Gen or
yeah,
Deep
and
Space
we're already
Nine.
3 seasons in. We're almost halfway through the series at this point.
We are.
Well, we are halfway through the series technically.
Yeah,
This is what got me about this episode. It's yeah, Dave just said it. I mean, they don't have time, and in my mind, I'm going, okay, we've got 7 episodes left to go now, and for another 2 years probably when they take a big break again. And it's
and I heard a thing how they were talking about how they wanted an extra 6 episodes for the final season, and they were declined because they wanted to do a transition in between in between Strange New Worlds and getting up to Kirk, right? Like
Yeah.
getting up to Kirk taking over the Enterprise. So they wanted to kind of do like year one of the Enterprise with Kirk at the end of this series.
Well, they need to
Right.
skip 4 years in there, right? Really quickly.
But then I'm sitting here thinking, well, you're asking for 6 episodes, but you're wasting 3 of them every fucking season. Like, like I don't know. It just rubs me the wrong way. It's not that I disliked the episode. I just didn't. It's filler, and it's not even like part of it was good, and then it just got really boring.
Yeah, to me, and I will stick with this, is that you've got 2 really poor episodes in the 3 seasons. This one is probably the worst now for me, and that episode in the first season.
I don't know, the wedding episode in the season.
I
wasn't very
enjoyed
good
this
either.
more than episode 2. What was that called again?
Episode 2 in season 1, right?
No, in this season.
No, in this
Wedding Bell
season.
Blues. I
I like Wedding Bell Blues better than this.
I would
No.
say I like this, but I personally, I don't think I disliked this quite as much as maybe you two did. I agree it wasn't the most engaging episode, although I got more enjoyment out of watching the cast have fun. Because you could tell that they were having fun.
Well, you know, and that's fine. And I like the little blooper thing at the end. I thought that was kind of neat too, that they did that. And you know, goofy. I don't know if they were made up bloopers or if they were actually legit bloopers, but either way, it was still entertaining. I just think, yeah, like, but this is what bothers me about this. You know, we're gonna have what 50 episodes total for this whole series. Something like that is roughly what's going to happen. And out of these 50 episodes, we're going to have probably 10 of them are going to be, you know, garbage waste episodes. I can only imagine what they could have did with 10 episodes. Like, and that's what bothers me about this. Like, yes, it's entertainment, and I get that. And
It was funny.
If you enjoy it, great. But
last week when we found out that Frakes was directing this one, I went and looked at all the Frakes episodes that he's directed and all the series.
Mhm.
And I thought, hey man, we're in for a good episode this week, you know, based on what he's done. And he's a good director, but man.
well, I called it because you guys all said, "Oh, Jonathan Frakes is doing this," but I'm like, "Yeah, but if he's only working with what he's got, like,
Well,
it's
he's
not
only-
like he wrote the damn thing."
an actor as good as a script. I mean, director as good as a script, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah, I think he worked with what he had, and I think he did. I liked how he shot some of the scenes. I thought some of the scenes were really well done, but just overall, I don't think this is the fault of the director at all. This is definitely
here's the
writing
other
problem.
reason I think that we get this episode. They're like, well, it doesn't make sense for Kirk to be coming to the Enterprise every like 2 or 3 episodes. So this is a way to get Paul Wesley on the
Into an
show
episode.
without actually having Kirk visit the Enterprise. You know,
And then
But what point does that serve us?
it doesn't serve us. There's fan service, and then there's like, I guess, cast service, and this is what I think this episode kind of is. It's cast service.
Well, he got a guest star credit. Like, that's what he gets every time he's on the show anyway. He's not a regular cast member.
Right. Well, he's probably contractually obligated to appear in so many episodes, but maybe the writers don't want to
Perhaps.
overuse the Kirk character specifically, right? Because he's supposed to be kind of fresh when he gets to the Enterprise. Like, so.
But like this
So
show
they-
has some intriguing things happening. Like we have the whole like Gorn crossbreed thing going on. We have
Right.
like,
What's going
so
on with
many other
that?
things. But no, instead, let's do a fucking episode about something that technically shouldn't be this advanced right now, and which is the holodeck. Like, you can tell me, yeah, sure, okay, yeah, there's a holodeck or something like a holodeck, and that's fine. The animated series did make that canon. I get it, but like, come on, it wouldn't be this evolved at this point. couldn't
No.
be.
Well,
So-
yeah, sorry.
you know, Davey, last week we had a pretty interesting chat about, you know, canon and the rewriting of reimagining of Spock and the others.
Mhm.
And I could really live with the Nurse Chapel Spock relationship. I really could. I thought it was, and it's over. But now we got this one. Like does Spock just need a woman? Like, you know,
Well,
corny.
I think like this
Ponfar
is
is coming.
This is an example for me where, yeah, like I think I can't blame the writers in some way because I think they see chemistry here between, Ethan Peck and Christine, sorry,
Chong.
what's her- Chong,
Yeah.
and so they're going with it, and that's what writers should do. But but they have a character here in Spock. Lon, they can kind of do whatever they want with her. She's a brand new character.
but I like her. I like her character. I'd be very happy
Me
if
too.
she
Me
ended
too.
up with Paul Wesley, Kirk, somehow.
Yeah. But now this character of La'an is now kind of in canon going to be remembered as the woman that both Kirk and Spock loved.
Yes.
You know, maybe, could there be a love triangle between these three? Like I know that like Chapel's off with Roger Corby at the moment, but you know, it's
but even then, if they had just parked that for now, and then Chapel will come back to Spock later. But now we got this again, and I do like that character a lot. I think she's good. She's.
I think the whole Lon Spock thing is a red herring. I don't think they're going to bother doing anything with it. I think they just want to create some. I think they just want to create some tension. That's all.
Well, I mean, they actually did it well. Like it looked good. And
I like as much as I hate what they're doing with the Spock. I was like, this is hot. I'm shipping this. Like if I think they have more chemistry than Chapel and Spock.
I would agree 100%.
But if I can push that aside out of my head, I'm all good with it in a certain way. But yeah.
Well, and Lon's always been a character on this show that realistically gets more spotlight than she probably should compared to the rest of the rest of the people. But I'm okay with it.
The show.
She's pretty fun. I think she plays it well. The other thing
the actress is very good, and she's a good singer and everything too, and apparently a pretty good dancer from the looks of it. So it's like very talented woman. So it's I have no problem with her being on screen. It doesn't bother me, but just like there's so many other things that we could be doing right now, but instead we're doing another fuck around episode.
The other thing I wanted to mention
bothers me.
I think that the episode order. I don't think that this episode should be where it is. I think it's meant to either have been earlier or maybe quite later in the show.
Mid-season.
Because at the end of the last episode, there's that whole thing with Erica getting like suspended, right, for not following orders. That's not touched on upon at all. You mentioned Captain Battelle and her Gorn cancer treatment and what's going on with that. That's not even mentioned at all in this episode. So I feel like this episode was either meant to be before that or way later than that.
It's very possible they put it in the wrong order, and that's their prerogative. I guess maybe they wanted.
They just felt like, hey, we need this episode earlier in the season just to get people talking about the show.
But that to me leads me to believe that we're not going to be getting a lot of quality episodes if you're throwing all your gimmick episodes right at the beginning of the series. Like it's to me that kind of bothers me a bit because that.
Well, you didn't like when the gimmick was like the penultimate episode last season.
Yeah. So that's true.
So you don't like it wherever it falls in the order.
I really don't like gimmick episodes to begin with. I guess
you won't like
what it comes down to.
When we get to the puppet episode next year, you'll be like,
"Oh, I'm gonna be."
Whenever with that.
My problem with this is that I feel the same way I felt back in like the early '90s, and you get one episode a week, and now, at the end of it, you go, it was okay.
It feels like,
and now I got to wait another damn week before something good comes. I hope something good comes next week.
Well, we're all looking for something else. Okay, how about we jump into screenshots and talk about what we saw in the episode? We're about 18 minutes.
Can't imagine us having to talk that much about it because there's mostly a talking episode.
Let's just run through the plot of the episode. Andrew Sapp here was mentioning that the character that Rebecca Romaine is playing is meant to be a tribute to Lucille Ball. I think that clearly the character Anson Mount's playing on the holodeck is meant to be Gene Roddenberry and maybe a couple other writers from original series.
Absolutely.
Stuff
and
like
I loved
that.
how grody looking he looked and how just unkept, and it was nice to see a guy who normally has like quite the stature and a very clean cut dude can look like that. So I think that's pretty cool.
And Trek Reviewer is saying like he has no problem with the La'an as a character or the actress, but was it necessary to make her a part of Khan's family?
No, 100%.
No, I don't think so. I don't think if
we
you
got
didn't have
that one
in her,
episode where they linked it, and past that, it really hasn't come up much.
If she was just like just some human woman that had this traumatic experience with the Gorn, which I think is important for her backstory, but the fact that she comes from this genetically engineered family, I don't think is as significant for her character.
Yeah, no.
As
maybe we'll see more of that. Who knows? But
maybe. But I don't think they need it. I think that the character is good without any of that.
The character is fairly fleshed out at this point. I don't think we really need to add much more to it. I think she does a great job with what she has right now.
Yeah, me too. All right, let's jump in. So the first shot we get here is of Jess Bush, playing this holodeck character. Now, we don't know what's technically going on. We're not told this is a holodeck.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
this
matter,
point.
but she's wearing too short
I'm
of a
enjoying
skirt.
it.
They're really going with like how short those skirts were on original series, Adam, and
yeah.
you know, and they're not wrong.
I just love the plastic molded chair.
The plastic molded chair that literally no one would ever sit in
that's
for any
from the-
length of time.
That's from the future. Come on.
Oh, it's
So-
a future molded chair. Okay.
Yeah.
But I do like the panel. I like
The panels are great on this set.
Yeah.
I was thinking as I'm watching this, like, well, at least this is canon. Like, at least they're keeping with original series now, but it's like a farce.
I also liked in this set.
They listened
how-
to you 2 weeks ago, Dave.
Yeah, I liked how also in this set the view screen had another stage behind it, so they could have
Yes.
somebody on the view screen. I just thought that was great.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love this guy. This guy is
Paul
fantastic
Wesley
in
as
this scene.
now he's of course the Kirk of Strange New Worlds, but he's playing just this holodeck character version,
which
that's
is
not-
a lot like Kirk.
which is a lot like he's a lot like
Original
like
series
William
Kirk.
Shatner's version of Kirk.
Yeah,
The
and he
character's
does
called
it really well.
Maxwell Saint is the name of the actor he's playing. And so he's doing his best like Shatner impression, everything else.
And I love how he's got like the big collar jumpsuit thing on. That looks great.
Yeah, I maybe this is more because they couldn't make it like look like a Starfleet uniform, so I guess they're going for more of like a Lost in Space vibe here in some ways too.
Yeah, something like that.
So we see him interacting. Of course, Erica or more specifically Melissa Navia playing Lee Woods, the doctor of this ship. So there's kind of like just these three leads of this fake TV show.
Yeah, this is all we see other than the alien. Is just these three characters, right?
Right. This show called The Final Frontier, and we have Maxwell Saint's character, the captain, dealing
I
with
just love that. It's
this
so good.
alien. This alien,
The alien
with
is so good. I love
with
it.
the sticks on the eyes.
That's
and, like,
so amazing.
Who
I
was
like it.
playing that role?
It
It was a woman. I don't know, and she sounded familiar, but I didn't actually know who it was.
Kira Gulanian.
So it wasn't one of the cast members.
No, it was that same one who played like the bartender a couple episodes ago in Wedding Bell Blues that had the three arms.
Right.
Ah, okay.
So it's that same actress.
Absolutely love it though. Looks great.
Yeah.
So
So it's
campy and
good
stupid.
gag, you know. You can see like it's a real person through the plastic molded mask and these cheesy special effects and everything else.
And I love how they have like shit stuck to the wall and.
Oh, yeah,
If
Stephanie-
you look at the, you can actually see like there's conduit lines and stuff like that. As
right,
well.
just like original series had, you know.
Yeah.
So they're
They
really
did.
sticking with
And
that.
I love how the floodlights are all different color floodlights. That if you
Oh
go
yeah,
back
and
a
the
couple-
lighting and the zoom in here we get.
Oh, yeah.
Like
On,
there's even like look at the orange cage up there in the ceiling.
oh
Yeah.
yeah. And then there's this whole moment where like there's a dramatic pause, and
And I
then he
also like
starts-
the fact that Jess Bush really fucked up her lines. Like she does not deliver them very well at all. Like just to kind of show that she's a terrible actress in this setting in this universe.
Right.
Whereas
Or
obviously
she's not well
much
written.
better.
She's not well written because there's probably some sexist writers that are
Oh
not
yes,
giving her
exactly.
enough
But
lines.
like all of her lines are terrible in this little rendition. Yeah.
Right. So they're having
And
fun
her firing
taking
the phasers with the
Yeah.
pulleys.
the cranks. Yeah. Which is very original series, of course. Here's like one of the close-ups on Paul Wesley where he gets that dramatic lighting like Shatner often got.
It was great. This was good. You know what? I mean, I like all
If
of
they
it.
gave 40 minutes of this, I would have been happy.
Yeah, the whole episode's whatever the ship was, and then we get a whole opening credits. You know,
Oh, yeah,
very
it's
much in the
total
original
mimic.
series style. We get to see what's the ship called? The
The
USS
Adventurer or something.
Adventurer or something.
Adventure, yeah.
20-1 is the registry. You know, it looks like a toy ship.
It's
flying in
fucking
space.
ugly, but it's
The Last Frontier. That's great.
That's
the
what-
last frontier. Yeah.
Yeah, created by T.K. Bellows, who is the Ensign Mount holodeck character
Mount,
in this. Maxwell Saint, of course, being the Paul Wesley. Adelaide Shade being Jess Bush, and Lee Woods being I always forget Melissa Navia. So Sonny Lapino will be the one we'll meet later. That's the basically the reference to Lucille Ball. And then we come out. We get the security officer's log. It's on talking about how the Enterprise is investigating a certain kind of star. What is it? A neutron star. And so while the Enterprise is busy, doing this scientific mission, she's been giving given another mission, she tells us.
Yep.
So, and she
And her
they talk
mission
about
is to test out the rec room.
the rec room. It's the holodeck. I thought,
And then Una says, "Oh, we call it, call it the holodeck."
oh yeah, I pulled that. Where is it here?
Now, the device we're going to be testing is called the recreation room.
Holodeck, for short. Sounds better.
Yeah.
Okay,
Recreation.
the recreation room.
Well, he says it's recreation room.
He said
recreation room,
Yeah.
but we'll call it holodeck for short. Holodeck is not short for recreation room in any way.
no.
It's a completely different word.
Oh, maybe
I think this would have been better if they had called it the holographic deck and simulate, blah, 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 whatever. Call it something long and then just call it holodeck for short. That would have been a better line, in my opinion. But anyway, but they want Lon to go test it out because she's tested those simulators like we had seen in Star Trek Discovery. We saw Anson Mount and Ash Tyler. There was in season 2 of that show, they were kind of doing like a simulator, like they were fighting with guns and everything else, but it wasn't like full holograms, right? It was more like a virtual reality, I would say. And so anyway, this is more sophisticated. It takes massive amounts of computer power, we're told. And so La'an is kind of like the guinea pig, I suppose, to test out this new technology. So she heads down to see Spock, who no longer does calisthenics, everybody. He is a full-on samba dancer. He's a dancer man now. And Lon comes to pay him a visit to talk about her new mission. Now, she likes to check out Spock's butt while she's at it, I want to note. But, what's a girl to do?
Oh, that's not
Reference to the animated series from Norman?
Oh, hold on.
There was something like a holodeck that was called the Recreation
Yeah, the recreation room. Yep.
Okay. But holodeck, okay, but still.
I have to laugh at this one though. Chapo with an Australian accent.
Right. So
she is Australian.
She is Australian. So Jess Bush just got to use her
She just
proper
got to
accent, talk normal for an episode. Again, this was cast service. This episode, it was more for the cast than it was
Yeah,
for
it might
us.
have been more for the cast than us. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so she shows up and he's like, "Hey, I'm doing some dancing. Want to do a dance?" And so they basically instead of having a walk and talk, they have a dance and talk. And go through talk about the holodeck simulation, everything that they're going to be doing.
You can tell she's a good dancer though, just by how she moves.
And him too. I
think he must have some sort of training. But
we also see she's wearing this cortical implant on that's for the holodeck simulation. It's basically taking her vitals and information or something, so that it will be a better simulation when she goes in. But she says she hardly knows she's wearing it anyway. But she's basically here to recruit Spock's help to a certain degree in making the program get launched off and be challenging. And there is some sexual tension here between these two throughout this scene as well. But we'll come back to that. She gets a call here. I think it's from Scotty. Scotty calls her over, and then.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but this is pretty neat. So I also like that Una says that Scotty at the end that there's 203 people in the Enterprise, which is in line with what Pike says in the cage. So that's
right, but by the time we get to Kirk's era, it's going to be closer to 400.
Yeah.
So why the increase in manpower?
Because Kirk loses people every mission.
So they have to add more red suits.
Captain Kirk, we're noticing you're taking an above average number of casualties on a week by week basis. So we're just going to give you.
It's
like
overhiring, Dave.
And you also keep requesting.
You got to overhire.
You also keep requesting all these helper women. What's that about?
The Yeomans.
The Yeomans, yeah.
Janice Rand and all the rest. Anyway, but
that's where the extra 100 and some odd are coming from. It's all the red shirts and the yeoman.
Well, speaking of red shirts, we have Scotty and Lon here talking about how they're going to get going. Now, Pelia, who of course is still the chief engineer in this era, but she's not in this episode.
No, she's conveniently on shore leave.
Scotty is here to kind of, make sure that there's enough computer power and resources allocated to the holodeck program, which for this particular century would be a lot on the ship's computer core. So
do you think he is always tired looking, or do they just don't put any makeup on him, or what's going on with this guy?
He always looks like he's overworked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every
I
time
think
you
that's
see him.
I think that's intentional.
I think that's intentional, though. Yeah.
That he's a work, and that goes with you know, in terms of Scotty's character, he's a workaholic. That's fine. The other thing that this version of Scotty does is he doesn't say lieutenant, he says lieutenant, as I understand British people would.
Red Wing, you are lieutenant?
But James Doohan never said lieutenant.
Well,
as lieutenant.
it's also interesting because lieutenant is from the British military.
And the Canadian military too. Like that's what you would
Yes,
say.
but there's Starfleet is one organization. I doubt they, like, where would he have learned that?
Right. Well, and it would
Do
be
you
like
think the advanced civilization living in this century is going to bother going with American English? No, they're going to go British English.
well, when they spell honor, they spell it without the U. So
That's true.
think about that. Anyway,
They ruin
so
everything.
Pelia is Mia. What does that mean?
MIA.
MIA. Okay. I was like, who's Mia? Anyway, so we're also told that, because the holodeck, you know, it needs very detailed characters. Like, we need something high resolution. The only thing we have are transporter files to create them. Now, it doesn't have to be only senior officers. I'm pretty sure that, you know, lower deckers would also use the transporter, and this program could be filled with other, you know, less important, you know, characters, but that would be less fun. So it's, you know, everyone basically on the senior staff is going to be in this holodeck program, except for Spock. There's no character based on Spock because Spock is, of course, going to be part of the simulation. Well, I guess he is. I guess there is a holodeck character created on Spock. He just is Spock. He's not like one of the others. So then we have La'an go into costume, you know, playing her favorite detective, Moon from the Kid. We see her here in the holodeck. You know, I don't love that it's the yellow grid like TNG. I wish they had done
don't love
something.
that at all.
I wish they had done something a little different, but whatever. It is what it is. And then the doorway disappears. You know, the arch disappears.
Which
while
doesn't make
it's-
sense because it's not on.
It's not on yet. So and
Yeah, I caught that one too. I'm like, that's kind of weird.
Voyager,
'Cause
TNG, D69, like their holodecks never did that until the simulation began, right?
think so.
That's another change. Anyway, so this is still the real Spock, I think, in this part of the episode where he's offering to help her and go on the simulation with her, right? But she's eventually going to send him away as this thing starts up and we get the thing. They talk about being able to smell the smoke, the cigarette smoke, and you know, feel things and everything else. And it's really lifelike. And Spock's, you know, say, "Hey, do you want me to help?" He also mentions that, you know, his ancestor is Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, which was already talked about in Star Trek VI because Leonard Nimoy's Spock did to say, you know,
Hey, following canon. It's great.
it's following canon, so you know that's good, I guess. Anyway, so but Lon doesn't want his help. She wants to do this on her own, and she's also programmed this program to be difficult for her, like to give her a significant challenge in solving a mystery or a crime, a case crime here. So there's a couple of things important to set up as Spock leaves the holodeck, and we get our first holodeck character, who is played by our Uhura here, Celia Rose Gooding. The character's name is Joni Gloss, and she's like an agent.
She's the agent, yeah.
Yeah, like a high pressure agent. Basically, the premise here is like this is Clue. The main host in the home has been murdered by one of the house
She
guests.
never gets to smoke that cigarette.
And there are no police present. It's all up to the super sleuth to solve the day. So anyway, she's looking for a light, but she leads us to the first body, who is this guest. And we also see well, maybe it's here. Yeah, we see like that Final Frontier poster is present, you know, and so
I'm
that's
sure
the
will be available for sale come tomorrow.
that's the first indication we get that there's a connection between that opening scene we got and what's going on here in the holodeck. Anyway, again, on Lon's look here in the holodeck as this Moon detective.
Amelia Moon.
Amelia Moon. Love the
Amelia.
hat. Don't love the wig, but that's just me. All right. So we see Mr. Body has been murdered here by something, strangled with some kind of, I don't know, tape-like substance. What could it be?
I already solved this. It's the Gorn.
It's the Gorn.
Federation.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, so she's finding old scripts. She's finding all these clues, all these breadcrumbs, and she's solving the mystery. A contract, a Hollywood contract that's been ripped up. What else is going on here? She finds a glass with a lipstick on it.
Why did he have all these candles lit if he's just by himself?
Well, he's got house guests coming. I don't know.
So are they going to share the bathroom? What are we doing here?
Maybe. They have a film reel. We see this bracelet thing that will come back. And more documents, The Last Frontier. Anyway, so then we get the gathering of all the house guests, including Anson Mount. Who
they did great with him.
He's my favorite in this episode because T.K. Bellows, very different character than Captain Pike. He's playing kind of a creepy, weird Hollywood.
Well, and the best thing with him is what they did was they didn't give him anything to say for like half of this episode. So he's always in the background. He's almost grimacing and stuff like that, but he doesn't actually talk.
He's always drinking. He's just drinking.
Yeah, he's always drinking or something, and then
it's
eventually
not a very Knives Out vibe too, eh?
Yes. Yeah, kind of like a
Knives Out did this way better.
Oh, for sure. We have Rebecca Romaine here playing basically the tribute to
Lucille Ball, yeah.
Lucille Ball. And then we also have all of the leads here from Final Frontier, including Paul Wesley, and we also have Chapel or Jess Bush, along with her boyfriend.
I love him. He looks so great.
Babs here is playing Anthony McBow, the beau of Jess Bush's Adelaide Shaw. So anyway, we have here, and of course the agent as mentioned earlier. Anyway, so Lon saying, "Okay, one of you murdered your host," and there's dun dun dun. There's accusations here. Your show is about to be canceled. To which Paul Wesley says, "Canceled, but we're a hit." Oh, ratings! That was maybe one of my favorite lines. We see that the phone line is cut, so no one can come to the house, as always is the case with these kind of Clue-esque things. And I think that Lon first accuses the Lucille Ball character here.
First everybody
Lupino?
starts accusing the doctor's character first, or not the doctor's character, Jess Bush's character.
Is Jess Bush accused first? Yeah. Yeah,
she's accused first, and then the people accuse her because they're like, "Oh, she likes martinis" or whatever it was. And then they're like, she's like, "No, it's the wrong shade of lipstick. She likes her pink frosty or something like that." She says.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So then the attention comes to Sonny Lupino, the Lucille Ball character, as played by Rebecca Romaine.
And she's wearing the lip color that apparently she showed on TV herself. So I guess that's where the link is.
Yeah. Then there's all this then she's getting grilled here by Lon's, detective character, talking about her ex-husband, which I think is a reference to Ricky Ricardo, and all that, and how they were divorced by the time Star Trek's going on, but they were still producers.
A lot of people don't realize it, but Desilu was basically the studio that made Star Trek happen. So. Yeah,
exactly, and Lucille Ball. So there's all this
Lucille Ball, you wouldn't have Star Trek.
All these references to the 1960s behind the scenes of the original series and all of those things, until finally, but Sonny Lupino, the character here, she says, "I didn't murder anyone. I would never," and she gives this kind of explanation that kind of throws on, saying, "Oh, it's not her," but then all of a sudden, Sonny Lupino is choking to death here, evidently poisoned by her martini, as she's on her way out. And they all rush over to see how she is, but she is dead. She's clearly dead.
And Simmons is still
drinking. Just alcoholic in the background, just pounding drinks. Poison, but who could it be? Who is the murderer? And so Lon is going around trying to kind of work this out in her head, trying to work out the details. I think she calls for Spock. Did she call Spock? Yeah, she does, right? Yeah. And so we get Spock seemingly shows up to help out as he had offered earlier. We'll come to find out that this is not Spock. This is a hologram. that
is
the
the
program
holodeck.
created, based on the earlier interactions. But he's going
Well, and
to.
if you also remember later on, they have no communication at all in the simulator. So she couldn't have called him anyway because, obviously they didn't have that communication.
Right. So along with Spock, she comes back to the surviving house guests to kind of talk about all their theories. They make fun of Spock's pajama party attire, that he's out of dress, and then that's going to continue. We'll come back to that. But meanwhile, in the Enterprise, we have Una here talking to Dr. Mbenga about all the computer resources that are flickering throughout the ship because the holodeck is drawing up so much power. And that this is not great. Even this, like, the nurse guy comes by and he, the lights flicker out.
They totally missed an opportunity to have him with like a bandage on his face from the last
when Spock
episode
threw him
when he
against
got
the
his
room?
ass kicked. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, again, I feel like this episode was not where it fell in the order originally, but anyway.
Well, there is one line that puts it here, but I don't know if they added that later. Maybe I can't remember the line, but there was one line. Where
What's
they
going
referenced
on with
something from the last
Patel?
episode.
Where is she? Is she on the ship still?
It doesn't matter.
She's got a new ship. She's out in space.
She must be
Was
out
that
in space
wise
by
to
now.
do before her treatment's over and
I
she's a
don't think
Skelhorn
that's
hybrid?
the case. I don't know where she is. She's probably in the quarters.
Anyway,
At his
so Commander Chin Riley goes down to see Scotty in engineering to talk about all the computer resources that are being sucked up here.
And he's still stressed.
Scotty's not being completely forthcoming about the computer issues that they're going through, but he's got it all under control. He tells her, "Don't worry about it, Commander. I'll get it all under control." And she says she kind of leaves him there. Authorization and let him to sort this out. But things are actually worse than Scotty is letting on. He's kind of the main point of this scene. And
Because you can't have a holodeck episode without being trapped in the holodeck.
Right, you gotta be trapped, and the safeties have to fail too. Right,
Safeties always have to fail. Yeah.
holodeck diagnostics here we see are not going great. Back in the holodeck, La'an with fake Spock, they're talking to Maxwell Saint, as played by Paul Wesley. This was a fun little interrogation. I thought.
This interrogation's good. All the other ones are terrible.
Yeah, this one was fun. Or like they're saying you were having an affair. Oh, you have the bracelet. He's fun. He's fun. I like him as an actor, and I like his.
He does a great job in this episode for sure.
Yeah, he's really good. Like I
He's
love
very
all
entertaining.
I love everyone on this cast. Like they're all really great performers.
Oh, the cast I think is all pretty good. It's just the writing is where we're hitting problems here.
Yeah, some of the logic of it all, but anyway, so they're going through the interrogation here. He's like, well, maybe I was having an affair, but I wasn't murdering anybody, and those kinds of things. So,
Typical 60s actor.
I'm an actor and I like drama, but it's not worth killing over, I think he says.
Yeah.
The at least intrigues, the tabloids about him. Love is in the last frontier for these co-stars. I guess alluding to him and Jess Bush's character, Adelaide Shaw, having a thing, right?
Yeah, well, because he does mention that they dated briefly or something like that, and then she's like, "We didn't date at all. I didn't deal with this guy."
Right. So that she throws cold water on that, but there's something to her story that I forget. Like,
It doesn't matter.
I know she says
But is it wrong to want love and to be taken seriously in my career?
that's her with the Australian accent there.
Is it an accent when it's your native?
Maybe not. Yeah. Anyway. So she's going on here. They interrogate Babs here, who while I love the look he has in this episode with the bandana and everything, like I don't love his performance in this.
No, his performance is terrible, but I love his outfit.
He doesn't feel comfortable playing whatever he's being asked.
Which
to
is
play.
weird because you would think he would be, because he does. He is known to be a method actor of sorts from his other projects. So
yeah, he's a great actor, but in this particular role, he feels not comfortable, in my opinion. So we're transitioning. Then we also get our Erica's holodeck version. They're going through her. They're figuring out the breadcrumbs. I'm trying to work out exactly what. But they eventually go and confront Anson Mount, who's not part of that interrogation sequence. He's getting ready to leave, and she kind of is saying, "Well, it must be you that's the murderer." And he's such a weird creep. This character.
he's really good at playing the creep guy, though, eh?
Yeah.
So I just read something where they also reference he looks like Isaac Asimov, and
He
he
does,
really
actually, yeah.
does. He really
Yeah,
does.
he really does. Yeah.
So I think he's meant to be like kind of like a Gene Roddenberry, but I think he's meant to be a few different science fiction writers. all
Yeah, I think
combined.
he's generally just a fictionalized, producer /
Right. But he tells us that he was getting fired from his own show, that they were going to do it without him, which is something that actually did happen to Gene Roddenberry as well. And that his contract was torn up by
Worldmind
Sunny,
actually
I
just
believe.
chimed something in about what we were talking about. When the door went away earlier, that's when
must
the
have got to
Holo
that part in
program
the episode.
actually started.
But okay, but was that I think that was the real Spock when she entered the holodeck.
Yes.
So Spock
then
still
why-
left.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that flies. I'd have to go look at it again. It's a good theory, though.
That Chris is saying that Spock was a hologram. I don't think so. I think that
I don't think he was.
I think that the Spock that comes later when she calls for
This one's
help,
definitely a hologram.
This one is definitely a hologram, but I think that
Yeah.
the Spock she interacts with at the very, very beginning is the real Spock. Anyway,
I
so
don't know.
he's watching the episode. Okay,
That's
but
great.
We
We watched it
also
twice.
watched the episode. Okay. Anyway,
They just said it, he said. I'm
They
like,
just said
okay. I
I'll
don't
have to go
remember
back.
that. But anyway. doesn't
Anyway,
matter.
so they're trying to work out who the murderer is. They have all their little leads here on fake Spock's pad
But this is the 60s. Why is there a pad in this?
because he doesn't have to follow those rules. His
I
his
see.
hologram is not meant for that. We're working out something here, and then there's this chandelier that nearly hits La'an. Comes down here, but Spock moves her out of the way just in time. And we see she gets like cut based on one of like little flying bits there. Just to establish here, safeties are off, and you can be hurt now.
Well, somebody always has to get hurt.
Someone has to. That's how it goes. Anyway, so they try to call outside the ship, but they can't. On the outside of the ship, we see here that they are stuck. They can't raise comms, and so their Spock and Lon seem worried. More Lon than Spock.
He looks very
Spock's-
menacing in that screenshot, though.
Yeah.
Like, just the look of him, you're like, he's up to something.
Well, and maybe that's intentional on Ethan Peck's part, is that he's
Maybe.
trying to play more of a soulless version of Spock. Anyway, then we have the scene up on the bridge here where Scotty is like doesn't want to admit how bad things are with this holodeck program, so he sneaks onto the bridge and he doesn't he's like, hey, because he wants Uhura's help, and that's it. Pike's like, what's going on? What are you here for?
This
"Oh."
doesn't make sense either. Like, I don't know.
You
Why
know,
would
it's-
he hide this? He's a lieutenant.
He's a lieutenant, and
He's not some junior ensign that hasn't been around the block yet. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
yeah, he's like, hypothetically, if I did this and this and this, what would you do? She's like, hypothetically, I would do that. But then she kind of figures out that this is really bad, but they don't want it to,
But even Uhura playing along with it doesn't make sense.
Right.
It makes less sense, actually.
Well, yeah, she's an ensign at this point. He's a lieutenant. I don't know.
Yeah, but again, she's with the crew. She knows this crew. So everything that like Una comes up with at the end when she's talking to Scotty about giving him the lecture, Uhura should know.
Anyway, the line that Chris is saying, "You have been since the moment I walked into the holodeck." Okay,
I do remember
you
that
win,
line,
Chris.
so I think
You
he
win.
wins. Yeah.
All right. So he was all the Spock she danced with was real, right?
Yes.
At both times. Okay,
Well, he would have to be. He's not in the holodeck.
correct.
Yeah.
Can't contradict me on that one. Anyway, so coming along here, there's more of this like accusations here from the surviving house guests. They're all pointing the finger at each other, saying, "You're the murderer. You're the murderer." And then Lon from the top of the staircase here saying, now you all break it up." I also love Paul Wesley's like ready to do.
Yeah, he's
Martial
like got
arts.
the karate moves going.
Yeah, because he's getting ready to fight.
I love
Jess
how they
Butcher.
gave Anson Mutt this like big beer gut too.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's great.
Anyway, so I think she eventually comes down the staircase and there's been another murder because someone's not here. It's Melissa Navia's character, Lee Woods, one of the other. She's
Yes.
got a knife in the back Yet another murder has been committed here, and we got Celia Rose Gooding's agent here.
Still looking for that cigarette
Jody
lighter.
Gloss. Still always looking for a cigarette lighter. She didn't murder anybody here. She talks about like the importance of Star Trek and how people watching or the Final Frontier was going to be inspirational and all this, and the real legacy of Star Trek being kind of
The
referenced
Last
here.
Frontier.
The Last Frontier brought in here, and don't you care about that, Lon? And Lon does, but after that's over, like they notice that there's something going on here in the fireplace, because that's where Celia Rose Gooding wanted to get a light for her cigarette, and that's when Lon notices there's something in the the fireplace.
It's fake.
That and it's fake.
So
It's fake.
whoever threw the real stuff in here was like dumb, because like it's not gonna.
So
burn.
you saying the fireplace is fake?
Yeah, because she says that's why she can't light the cigarette. She goes,
Oh,
it's fake.
and that's because I was like, if it was a real fireplace, when this film would easily combust. Because
Absolutely, that's why it didn't.
Film. Right. Okay. But anyway, she
it's
finds
just a
that,
fake
and she
fireplace.
works out that this film is the murder weapon that was used to strangle the other guy, but it's also the film reel of a scene or something like that from the show. Anyway, back on the bridge of the Enterprise, the neutron star is emitting a big gamma wave, right? And so the ship is, this is coming at them a little unexpected and a little bit fast as they're starting the thing. The sensors are overloading, so they
And he
need to
wants
move.
put the shields up. And
Yeah, we need the
they don't have
shields.
power,
We need the
apparently.
shields up, and nothing's working. The helm's not responding. The shields
Yeah,
aren't
she
working
can't maneuver.
because the holodeck is using up all the resources. So they call down to Scotty, and Scotty's like, "Well, I can't quite turn off the holodeck right now." And he's like, "Well, I need something, make a miracle work here." So Scotty, he works out something, and he gives them like a little bit of propulsion power for a few seconds. And so that is enough for Erica, who I guess is off her suspension, to move
2 weeks
the
is
ship.
fast.
2 weeks, it's been at least 2 weeks, right? That she's able to move the ship out of the
Well,
way.
if she's on suspension next episode, then we know that this is not the right order.
Right. Yeah. See if they pay attention to that. Anyway, she's able to move the Enterprise right out in time. It looked like it was just in the nick of time here. And she does it here. Everyone's relieved. And then I think that's when the captain says, "Hey, I want to talk to La'an." But that's not really that easy right now. Scotty's still trying to work it out. So Uhura decides to go and help Scotty solve this problem. So she helps him work out this idea. He can't get a message into the holodeck because it's blocking him because he's not a holodeck
Can't
program.
get the USB thing plugged in correctly.
So Uhura's solution is, why don't you just create something within the program that can communicate with them, which is what happens here. So Lon is watching the footage from the film reel that was used as the murder weapon. Turns out it's that opening scene we saw of the Final Frontier, that show and everything else. But then there's something else. There's also like him giving the line, but then there's a cut, and we see like the whole set of the show here, including the Anson Mount character. And
yeah, a little upset that we didn't get to see the robot that was on screen. 'Cause there was a
we get
black
that in the
robot in
post credits
corner.
and all
Yeah,
that
the
stuff, right?
post-credits is there, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, there's this whole argument here too with Anson Mount and Paul Wesley, where he's like, if you could just deliver a line like a normal person, maybe we could get this out. He's like, if
I
you
wonder
could
how many
fight-
times somebody said that to Shatner.
if you could just write something like halfway good, maybe it would be a lot easier to get the lines out.
That's kind of how I felt about this episode.
Yeah. We then see that Anson Mount's on the phone, and I thought it was going to be like, Scotty calling Ensign Mount in the film, and then like somehow they were going to get the message there, right? Or that maybe the phone would ring there for Lon in the mansion. No, that's not what happens at all. Just then, like out of nowhere, Scotty, who apparently has created himself as like some kind of stagehand in the production, he comes out with like a little flashlight on his face. He's like, "Can you see me?" And he was like, "You have to get out of there, Lon. The program is."
You have to solve the mystery.
You have to solve the mystery and end the program to get out of there, or you're stuck, right? So that's when, after that happens, then Spock and La'an are confronted by Anson Mount's T.J. Bellows, who's more drunk than ever, and now has a gun. And we're starting to think, oh, maybe he's the murderer. He was the murderer all along, but It turns out no. He actually accuses Lon of being the murderer, and then he kind of looks at Spock and says, "Well, what about Spock? He's such a creepo. He's always looking there, being a weird, and everything else. Maybe he's responsible, for all this." And Spock just says nothing. Right? He even gets this gun pointed at him, doesn't react to it. Eventually Lon tries to get the gun away from the TJ Bellows, and the gun goes off and somehow shoots holographic Spock here in the arm. TJ Bellows runs away, scared, saying, "I didn't mean to do it." And we see here that Lon tries to tend to Spock, and at least the holodeck knew enough to give Spock green blood. I think that could have been another way that she could have figured this out. If he's got red blood,
They've done that one before, though.
Yeah. But she gives him a hug because she's relieved he's okay. But then during this hug, she realizes it's not him. He's a hologram. And
he's not reacting to her like he was reacting to her before.
Yes.
So.
Right.
Because you got to remember, like a half an hour ago, they were embraced at a dance. So, little different now. Yeah. So you have been since the moment I walked into the holodeck, as Chris was mentioning. You're the murderer. I guess he was there from the beginning in the theory, but the program. I guess Lon would be able to solve a normal mystery too easily. So this was the way of getting around it. This throwing a curveball at her. So anyway, by solving the Uhura with a cig, she never smoked throughout the whole episode. Yeah, she's always looking for a light, but she never got to actually light. Never
that
actually
cigarette.
gets to do one. Yeah.
But now that she solved the mystery, the critical sensory overload is over. The simulation is complete, and we see the holographic program end. Now. I know that the holodeck gets dismantled, but what did they turn this room into later? You think? Is this where? This
is where the dance hall is going to be.
This is where the remember how Kirk was doing karate in original series? Maybe they'll turn it into that gym.
So
maybe this is where Sulu trains.
Glossed over was the I can't remember her character on the holodeck, but Uhura's sort of homage to Star Trek and what it meant to culture. I thought that was very good.
Yeah, the little things she says about it. Yeah, we did talk about it for a second, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then so we get this debrief here with Lon and Scotty talking to Pike and Una up in the ready room, saying that these holodecks are more trouble than they're worth. They take up too many resources. They're too dangerous. We recommend you put it away and put it in a box and forget about it. And Scotty says, "No, I think I could make it work with a dedicated power source and computer processing, etc., etc." But Pike doesn't want to hear anything. He's like, "No, these things suck, and we're gonna put it as a footnote, whatever your suggestions are, a very small footnote." Then we get a confrontation here with Una, who, much like she had to deal with Erica in the previous episode, she's now dealing here with Scotty, saying, "You should have told everyone what the hell was going on, And he explains that he didn't because of what happened on his last assignment, the Star Diver, and the whole crew being killed by the Gorn, and him being the only survivor, and the guilt."
Gorn.
And yeah, it's the Gorn.
It's the
Gorn.
And that's why Scotty was trying to kind of solve it all on his own, trying to, carry the weight on his shoulders. But Una says, hey, we're a team, and we got to work as a team on the ship. So he says he understands. He doesn't get a suspension for 2 weeks, so that's nice. And maybe that won't happen again. Then we get our final scene of the episode. We got La'an here dressed in our black dress. We got Spock in a black T-shirt and pants, all black. No, black. Yeah, like a black long sleeve.
Sprockets.
They're here to continue their dance lessons here. So they start doing tango, but there's a lot of sexual chemistry here. I gotta tell you, and it's pretty sexy.
I think this is just a thing to kind of.
By the end of it, I was like,
distract
okay, Lon and Spock. I know it won't last, but for now, it can't last, right? Does this mean they'll kill her?
Maybe.
Maybe that's how, and then maybe that's why Spock is so emotionally detached for the rest of original series. That maybe
They'll have another, Rhapsody episode where she gets to sing about her feelings again.
Maybe.
Yeah.
This dress she's wearing, though, like she's a smoke show in this friggin' scene. I was like, she looks so much.
Whenever
better
they
here.
have her out of her uniform, she always looks fantastic.
Yeah, even in Toronto.
And she usually has like simple things on too. Like it's not like she's very extravagant, but she always looks really good.
She looks great here. I gotta say, they went for it. And Spock's feeling it. He was like, "Hello, Pond Far might not be for another couple of years, but I'll make an exception for you." And and then go at it here. Grabs her, but as is customary in the dance moves, of course.
Absolutely.
And by the end, they're looking into each other's eyes, and it goes into a smooch, big old smooch kiss here. And that is the end of the episode. Well, kind of. We then also get
bloopers. Yeah.
these blooper sort of things from the post in the.
Yeah, I don't know if they were intentional or if this was actually a blooper, but either way, it was still great.
I guess this is actually our credit sequence because we don't get it, in the beginning, right? So it's all here. And so they're doing the thing. They're showing some of the outtakes of them trying to like do the, move one side to side here.
I think Chapel's like just laughing her ass off because she did it the wrong way. Everybody else went one way, she went the other.
Right, them just having fun with this set. Yeah. We see her getting hit by the door here in the background,
which happened a lot. I think the bloopers are actually they're staged, but I think they're staged to kind of show you the standard things that happened during the original series.
For sure.
Yeah.
We also see here that Paul Wesley does the Riker maneuver by trying to put his but Riker never tried.
Chair.
Riker never tried to go over a chair that tall. Let's be real here. But
Riker was a lot taller too.
A lot taller than Paul Wesley too.
That's amazing.
And he completely destroys the chair. Yeah. I wonder if they came up with this just on set to make fun of Frakes, but
Oh, probably. Well, yeah, considering he's the one that's behind the camera right now, so.
Right. And there's just the alien getting out here, and we see the alien with her street pants
jeans
on.
and jeans and her Chuck Taylors on.
Yeah, exactly. And Rebecca Romaine, Paul Wesley doing his best duck face.
I love how he stares at the camera and he fixes his hair. I'm like totally Shatner move for sure.
Yeah. So enamored with himself, right?
Yeah. He does a fantastic job. I now know why they picked him to play Kirk because he can do it.
And that is our title card for the episode, and then we get our proper credits after that. So that's the screenshots for the episode. Do we have any trivia or fun facts to speak of?
Yeah, just bring them up. There's a couple things.
Okay, all yours, Adam.
Fun facts with Adam.
Fun facts.
Fun facts with Adam.
Okay, you guys called it out, but during the holodeck recreation, just Bush used her natural accent as she was on that doing those scenes. In the bloopers, we called everything here, guys.
Were they staged?
They were not staged. Sorry, they were staged. Yes, they were all created.
I thought they'd be staged.
But you got to believe, though, they were doing everything that goes wrong. Like I've seen the door episodes, where the doors don't open and they bump into them before.
Yeah, they walk into them or something.
Yeah. I guess it does confirm here that the holodecks were really introduced in the the animated series.
The recreation room.
The recreation room.
One of these days, we got to do an animated series watch.
No. No.
You by yourself.
Have you ever watched the animated series?
I bet you Chris will be there for it.
Oh, it's a slog.
So
he's Mr. Animated.
Yep, there's not much more to talk about tonight.
Okay, well, thank you.
This is I can tell you something. What I've been reading here
Adam.
is these were mediocre facts. There was hardly any. I don't even want to put my name on this one.
All right, no name. It's off. It's
facts by Basement Adam.
Yeah.
Right, there we go.
By Anonymous. Okay, well, let's get into our ratings and put a score on the episode. All right. coming in here.
IMDb's got this at 6.7 right now.
6.7. So it seems like that's kind of low for an IMDb score day one. So that's kind of indicating to me that similar to what Wedding Bell Blues got. So maybe not everybody's cup of tea. Okay, so I'll go first. I don't know. It's
just Wedding Bell Blues has actually dropped to 6.7. All right.
okay.
And Shuttle to Convory dropped to 7.2.
Wow. Well, I thought that episode was a lot better than that. Okay, well, it is what it is. So for this episode, it's definitely I liked it better than Wedding Bell Blues, 100%. So I'm at least at a 5. I think I would be okay with a 6 here. 6 is that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, I came into this at around a 4, but talking with you guys, it did show me some of the things I did enjoy more about it. So I'm gonna give it a little bit more than that. I'm still only gonna give it like a 5.8. That's what I'm gonna give it.
Okay, and Adam?
Chris gave it a 8.
Yeah, well,
Figures. And okay,
2.
and then
weird.
2 for me, please.
You're giving it a 2? Wow.
wow, he rarely
You
goes.
really
there.
didn't
Okay.
like it.
So
It's
we're
not-
averaging.
Jody, you said it all. I mean, you can't waste episodes. This is a waste of an episode.
Yeah, so was Wedding Bell Blues. That was a
But I like that
terrible
one.
episode too.
but I like that.
I didn't like Wedding Bell Blues.
Yeah.
I liked this better than Wedding Bell Blues. You liked Wedding
This
Bell
was
Blues
at
better
least
than this, but
at least I got some chuckles out of this one. I enjoyed some of the scenes in it, whereas Wedding Bell Blues, I didn't enjoy piss all in that episode. It was so bad.
yeah, for me, Shuttle to Kinfori is the best one of these 4 so far. I think you guys were higher on Hegemony Part 2 than I was.
Yeah, I liked it.
So,
I thought it was a good way to start the season.
But for tonight's episode, we're averaging 5.5, which is the same average we have for Wedding Bell Blues. So feel like
Shocker.
shocker. Anyway, so just looking ahead, we only know the title of the next episode, I believe, which is Through the Lens of Time. So I guess it's a time travel episode, which are always fun, right?
As long as they're done decent, yeah.
I hope we get to slingshot around the sun. That'd be kind of fun.
That could be fun. It's always fun to do a slingshot around
I
the
hope
sun.
there's whales.
Norman's giving a 4.3 on this.
Yeah, you're not far off there, Norman.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay. Well, maybe a great time travel episode would be fun. Next week. Is there anything else we know about that episode?
I don't think so. I don't think they released anything about it yet.
The director Andy Armaganian. That's about all we know so far.
So Frakes
Okay.
only gets one episode then. He doesn't get to
I
do
think-
the back-to-back like the other ones have been.
No, that's only in For All Mankind where they always do back to back. They rarely
they
do back.
did it in... Oh, I thought they did. Okay.
Only
I guess
they've
I
done back to back when it's like sometimes it's like a season finale and a season
Ah.
premiere kind of thing. But
I might be
most of the time
getting
Star Trek
confused.
does not do back to
At
back.
this point, I barely know where I am, Dave. It's fine.
It's all good, Jody. Okay, well, thanks to you both for helping review this episode. I'm sorry that we didn't love it as much as maybe Chris did, but it was
It was
not-
infinitely better than that singing episode, though. I can tell you that.
I like the singing episode now. But I don't think I'm going to change my mind on this one.
No, like maybe if I rewatch this in the future, maybe I'll go, oh, it's a little better than a 6.
But
for
I'll
now,
tell you, I
that's-
would have gave this at least an 8 if they stuck with the first part of this episode. And
Right, just
everything
keep
was
it-
just in the cheesy 60s thing.
If it was just like a comedy, basically, it was like just a
like
comedy
a goofy
episode.
comedy episode.
Yeah, that could be all right. Okay,
I wouldn't have
well,
felt so bad, but I agree with that. And I've said it millions of times that you can't waste episodes like this.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it is a waste.
All right, we had 6 more for this season, so make sure to keep following along with us for the rest of the season. We'll be back in 1 week's time to talk about that Through the Lens of Time episode. If you didn't know, last night we were reacting to the season 1 teaser for Starfleet Academy, It was Chris and Jody and I. We broke down that trailer. We nearly talked about an hour, but for a trailer that lasted about 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yes. So.
It was a teaser. It wasn't even a trailer either.
But it was also like the whole first look at the show and what we were
Yeah.
getting. So it was a real breakdown of everything we're hoping for, expecting, what we're not so excited for.
Please
maybe.
go watch it. Tell me I'm wrong in the comments, because most
So
people
that's
do.
that's
in the comments.
next January. They're saying for that.
They're saying 2026. They're not being too
They have
specific
not
yet.
given anything close to a date yet.
My
they
guess
just-
is
They
February
just
or
said
March.
within that year.
Yeah, but it could be any. That's the whole thing. They don't have to meet a deadline. They can just kind of, when they're ready, they'll be ready. So it will be what it will be. Also, every Monday night we cover the show For All Mankind. Not a Star Trek show, but very Star Trek-esque, created by Ronald D. Moore. We're talking about season 2, episode 8. And here's to you. Check out that.
And when is Gordo gonna die? That's the counter I'm going with.
Who says
right
he's
now.
dying, Jody?
Oh, he's gonna die. I like him now. He's gonna die.
We'll see.
I haven't watched this week's episode though yet.
Yeah, so tune in for that. We're almost done season 2 and moving on to season 3 very soon. And I think those are all the plugs I have at the moment. I think there's a Trivial Debates coming up on that channel, Superman themed, on August 4th that Chris is.
Can we get a theme that I can actually be part of?
Babylon 5?
No, one that I can be part of.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you would want to come to the
Something
Babylon
that somebody
5
would actually
panel.
watch. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
Hey Jody, let's create one because I haven't done one in like years.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll figure one out, and we'll just tell them that we're taking it over, and too bad.
well, thanks to all out there. Make sure to like, subscribe, and tell us what you thought about the episode. Until then, we'll see you next time, and we'll leave you with this quote for the ending. Have a good one, everyone.
Maybe you could try delivering the line like an actual human being for once.
Well, maybe if you wrote a line worth delivering, I could try to.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. Tune in to X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show. Artistic interviews with graphic histories. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And movie reviews with Hold Up, a movie podcast. And while you're at it, spin a few records with Eamon on Track. Watch us duke it out on Trivial Debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mater Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.